Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Prince of Discs. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. All right, I get lost. I'm doing my things. I'm hitting all the little points I need to, but I'm staring at this, and this is a beautiful image. We have this very interesting kind of divine mother formation. It is very much that kind of Mother Earth energy, the hill or the mountain. You can see the head up here, and now you can see the little baby holding the baby. And we have the number, it looks like 110. Okay, so I feel like this is such an energy in your life right now. This kind of returning to an old place, a place of origin, beginning again in some way, but with the love and the safety and the nurturing energy of that mother, that original mother energy. And I feel you, maybe having kind of some reservations about maybe stopping where you are and considering maybe this is time, maybe start a new job, or maybe you are ending a relationship and kind of beginning your life alone, or maybe moving back home, back to the area you grew up in. Whatever it is, there is a sense of, letting go, trying to figure out how do I do this without feeling that I'm just kind of giving up on something that has been so important for me. But I do also feel that that this is not sustainable for you any longer. It doesn't make sense anymore. It's not of service to the life that you want for yourself. And so you must go back to the beginning. And so, in a lot of ways, I feel like, it is kind of that sense of a mother, of having to make some sacrifices to really nurture and foster a life for maybe your child. But I don't think that's the thing here. I think it's more like that inner child. Okay, maybe letting go of some of the things in your life that you've worked for. You've had to do a lot of different things to get to where you're at, but it's not the thing anymore, right? It's for whatever reason, I don't know the particulars, but for whatever reason, it can't go on, right? So having to decide, I have to do this for myself. I have to, care for that core thing inside of me that has to be protected, that has to be given the opportunity to flourish and grow and flourish and so on. So this is very brave energy. It's not easy, right? But I do think, because we do have that kind kind of airy earth energy, there is a sense of great clarity, right? But also creativity and enthusiasm and a joyousness about, you know, beginning something from scratch, you know. Once we can let go of that old stuff, then we have all this room to do something else. And I feel that this is something that you are, you know, looking forward to, maybe very minorly, but it is growing. It's growing, and you're coming around to it. And you're starting to think there are possibilities here. There are a lot of possibilities here. So hopefully this is, you know, a blessing, and it can be kind of looked at as so, because that is where you will step over into being able to thrive in this journey. Now, we also do have this large heart figure, and it has the flames similar to the eternal, the sacred heart with the eternal flames at the top. Hello, T. Come on. Come on, Mama. Oh, I missed you. I haven't seen you quite a while here. Okay, so now we know the Sacred Heart is the heart of flame due to agape, right? The divine love, the love between person and God, of you know, the cosmos, of universal consciousness, or whatever it is, however you perceive it, however you experience it. When we have this heart, we know you're in that place where this is a focal point to how you are living a spiritual life, a religious life, a life of some kind of faith, right? It could be the faith in the sciences, right? It doesn't have to be a religion or anything else. But, you know, likely, if you're here, you might be somebody who is open to spirituality. So we have that energy, and that is a beautiful and filling energy that I can see why we're having this time where you are deciding to choose yourself, because this love flows through all parts of your being. This is a love that is healing. This is a love that helps you, you know, be brave, be confident, to look at everything in its totality and decide, you know, how am I going to move forward in a way that will uphold the authentic life, my true will, you know, to be a person that exists in my understandings of virtue and conscience and so on. And I think that all of these things you know, they're so open and accessible to you when you are in this place of this kind of divine and devoted love. And, you know, how are you achieving this? I believe probably that you are using whatever spiritual, religious techniques that kind of, you know, get you into that place. Yoga, tantra, breath work, you know, intentional movement, creativity, meditation, you know, ritual, whatever it is. Prayer, could be prayer. You know, I'm not going to list every single thing, but you get what I mean. You're using some kind of technique for yourself. Maybe a few of them, you know, and it helps you kind of open up those windows and doors so that you may see that divine light. It can pour through the windows into your home, your interior temple, your interior mansion. And I feel like this is a time where you are feeling quite inspired. I would not be surprised if you are having really kind of intense dreams, symbol heavy. When you wake up in the morning, you are still in that middle place. It's hard to kind of wake all the way up. The kinds of impressions and themes and tones of your dream carry over into your waking life, and you linger in them. And so I hope that you are keeping track of some of this, writing it down, excuse me. Still, at the very end of all of this, of all of this flu, I think. But yes, writing it down, keeping a kind of a log of it. I like to think of them as the captain's log. But, you know, a diary, a magical diary, a sketchbook, something, so that you have something for reference down the road. You can look for patterns and themes and things that really spoke to you, and maybe even, you know, insights that you had before you even understood what they were about, which does happen often when we're having those potent dreams. So we also have a large fish, a beautiful fish. And so when we have the fish, I know this is a time of financial abundance, okay? So I almost feel like maybe this is that you are getting a raise at work. I see that we have this mountain. We have a person standing at the top. And I feel like it's like you've been working towards trying to get into, you know, a different position, maybe in your existing work, company, career, or maybe that you have gone back to school, you have kind of expanded your skill set, you know, gone out and looked at different companies possibly, or started your own business so that you can kind of offer the services that you know so well. And let's see, so when we have the fish, it's like, okay, so I know that there's money coming. I know that with the Prince of Discs, doesn't surprise me. Would actually probably lean towards you maybe doing your own, maybe a business, maybe a new practice. Maybe this is kind of like a side hustle that you are developing, and it's starting to take off. But it feels like something where you have a lot of room to kind of be in charge of the work that you are doing. Your creative vision, your innovations, you can kind of really implement in this workspace. And that's really that Prince of Discs energy. And so I feel like it's really, excuse me. Oh, TT. Mommy can't stop coughing. It's really starting to pay off, right? And, yeah, and I keep looking at this one and I'm thinking, it looks like a mer person. To me, that's what I think we're going to read it as. And so I feel like in this time, you know, it's important that you don't get ahead of yourself. It's important that you take things slowly and you really look at kind of the choices you have to make here. especially if you do start making more money or you're in this new position. I think being, really kind of reserved about things, not getting in over your head, and making sure you're saving money if you can. I think that's a big deal. When you start making more money than you have been, and having a plan for that. And sometimes I mention this on here, and I'm sure people are like, why is she talking about this? But yeah, going to somebody that can help you with like a financial plan, or getting like a template off of the internet and doing your own financial plan. If you already have one, kind of looking back on that, over it, and, kind of adjusting where you need to, and trying to stick to it, right? Not just having it, but also trying to stick to it as much as you possibly can. Because when we have that mirror person, there is this kind of sense of easily being drawn into the murkiness of the ocean, right? Getting lost easily, getting taken under, swept under easily, pulled out, from the shore. And so do not get lost in the illusion of things, and the pridefulness. That's important as well. I know, Libra, you're not a very prideful bunch. You are confident. You know that you do well. And I think that, you take pride in what you do. But I don't feel like you are usually people who are, big braggarts or super full of yourselves. But I do think it's easy for anybody to kind of get lost in their success, and, really, let it go straight to the ego, right? So you have to be careful. You have to stay humble. And I think that you will. So, we also have a 3 and a 1, and we have a person right here with a little smiley face. Okay, so feeling pretty good. We also have a 7, so we have some lucky energy there. Okay, so I kind of see, we have almost like a person here wearing a mask. You can see here, kind of, it looks like a mask with the eyes and the nose and mouth. But the head looks very large. It looks like a mask over the face. And then we have a person standing over here, and it looks like they're pointing their finger. And here's the head. And so I'm looking at this, and I'm feeling like, it almost reminds me of some kind of, well, and we have the Ankh, and so I think of everlasting life. It's almost kind of this, spring rite. I mean, this really is, this sense of, a rising, wholeness, right? The beginning of the sprouting, the endurance to kind of make it from that seed up through the dirt and pop through and meet the sun for the first time. And so I do feel like there's this sense of really, kind of being focused on wellness, of life extension, possibly, having a life that maybe is the most, excuse me, a life that is maybe the most fulfilling, but also being able to enjoy it, right? feeling well enough to enjoy it, feeling focused enough to enjoy it, having enough time to enjoy it. And so I feel there's a sense of celebration here and almost kind of an appeal. Excuse me. And so, I wonder if you will partake in some kind of mid-spring fertility rite, or, some kind of celebration of spring. It doesn't have to be religious or spiritual necessarily, but I do feel like this is something that's important to you, this idea of elongating your life in some way, having a life that is, a life of wholeness, right? A well-lived life, and whatever that means to you. And so, yes, I do. I feel, this interesting, I almost kind of think of, well, in my head, I think of The Wicker Man, right? The movie. If you remember the movie from the 70s, they had another one with Nicolas Cage, which was also good, but the original is just amazing. And, excuse me, and in this kind of, these theatrical mystery ordeals, right, that are played out to kind of appeal for, the divine to smile upon. Usually it is the harvest, right? A good grow season and harvest. But this also can be applied to our lives. And I feel like maybe you won't be, doing a Burning Man type of deal. But I do feel like you are maybe superstitious to some degree, and even maybe partaking in like a May Day, a maypole, or something kind of beautiful and ornate in this way, which is interesting. I have such a love for these kinds of beautiful showings of ritual and reconstructionists and those keeping the traditions alive. They are quite gorgeous. Okay, so we have an F. We have an F. We have a 14. 14. And I feel like you've had a lot of maybe blackbirds. I almost wonder if you've had magpies or something in big flocks. And they're loud. They're so loud. But I think this reminds you of somebody, maybe from your youth. And whenever you see them or hear them, even when it is kind of driving you bonkers, you think of this person. And this, I think this really, it makes you smile and it makes you feel close to them again, even though I feel like it's been a lot of years. Maybe you haven't even seen them since your childhood. And so, yeah, it's it's kind of a cool connection in that way. I can hear the magpies as we're talking about this, actually. That's such a specific sound. But any big flock of birds can be, quite, quite attention consuming. So we have the lightness of being affirmation cards. Let's see, is it focused? There we go. Lightness of being affirmation cards. And I'm going to go ahead we're going to go ahead, TT, we're going to go ahead and flip through. We're going to stop where it feels right. Okay, and this one, let's see. There we go. Beautiful. I like these little fairies. Grace, trust, be relaxed and awake in the luminous stream. Shimmer with aliveness. Yes, shimmer with aliveness. Yes, yes, yes. I love these cards. They're all so pretty. I'm going to read this one. I don't remember this one. Let's do one more. It says, divine offering, peace. Your whole life is a sweetly unique healing medicine. Fragrant is your open heart. These are pretty. I like this. Very poetic. Like little prayers. All right, Libra, I'm going to go ahead and tell you thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And I thank you for putting up with my voice, and I probably sound pretty exhausted. I am. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty tired here tonight. I feel a little bit goofy. It's Saturday night. We had a long, fun day. Today I saw a beaver, which was really, I mean, I was like ecstatic. I mean, I was beside myself. It was, I love, you know, if you watch the readings, you know, I'm really into animals of all kinds. And anyway, so seeing a beaver really made my day out in the wild. And yeah, so anyways, I feel, I feel jovial, I feel tired, I feel weary. And so I thank you for putting up with my kind of foolish demeanor tonight. But if you also would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you would like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean the world to me. And I hope that you have a wonderful Easter, a beautiful Ramadan, all of the other holidays and festivals and things being celebrated at this time in these next weeks. You know, may you be, you know, in a place that is lovely and fulfilling and together and all of those things. And please take care of yourselves and the people around you. Be safe, drive safe. And I love you. We'll talk in just a few days. And I say again, good night. I thought she was going to think that was cool. She's just snoring over here. TT says good night as well. Good night.